Hi, I'm Neil, and I run Adelaide Walks, Talks and Drives. Hi, I'm Neil from Adelaide Walks, Talks and Drives with Neil. I've got Elise.
Hi, I'm Elise.
And I got Michael.
Hi.
And then Chris is from England.
Hey, hi Chris. Hello.
Chris is from England, and we are going to tell you a bit about Adelaide today, of what you really need to know if you're visiting Adelaide. So we are just at the airport. We're going to go through the airport to start off with. So as you're entering the airport, where I think all the taxis drop off people at the Atura hotel. Okay, that's where they drop people off. And as I'm driving through the airport here, you have your car park on this side. Reduce down. You shouldn't speed along here, that's for sure. Okay, so this is where you get dropped off. And you see the traffic lights ahead. That's where you go for your ride share. So if you're catching an Uber or Ola or something, you have to cross the road there and then get your ride share from there. The bus stop is straight ahead over there, and you can see the taxi rank there. But if I'm picking you up, I'll just stop here. I'll be picking you up from near the taxi's point over there, which is the chauffeur area. So all these guys which you're seeing crossing here, they are going to the where the cage is there. That's where the people, you pick up Ubers and Olas and things like that. And you got hire car things here. Just make sure everything's okay here. So, welcome to Adelaide. As we go around here, what we're going to be doing now is briefly going down to see how close we are to the beach, and then to the city. Now I'm going to start off with the story of Adelaide. And you guys here can interrupt me whenever you feel like. Okay. Can you find Wakefield Street in the city, Elise? Which is probably highlighted there.
Wakefield Street's this one here.
Yes. And that's near the center of the city. Okay. And Wakefield, back in 1827, he eloped with a girl called Ellen Turner, who was 15 years old, a boarder, and an heiress. Okay? And he sort of escaped. He managed to get to, he basically tricked her and managed to get to Gretna Green. Have you heard of Gretna Green? Where you can get married for cheap, cheap way, if you know what I mean. And then he managed to escape to France with her. But eventually he got caught by the police. About 2 or 3 weeks later, he got caught by the police. And eventually he got put into Newgate prison in London for 3 years, or a bit over 3 years. Okay, that's about 1827. Now in prison, he came up with an idea, because he saw that prisoners were getting transported from the prisons in England to Australia, Sydney and Hobart, and they were being used to basically build the infrastructure, etc. And he also knew that this guy here called Matthew Flinders, okay, and he was also in prison for about 3 weeks. Okay, so he liked this idea, and when he got out, he started talking to other people like Rundle, Heinley, Curry. Michael, can you tell me any others?
Is there someone called Peary?
Peary, yes.
Pulteney, maybe?
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Halifax?
That's right. So all these guys are friends.
And they're prisoners.
No, they're not prisoners. They are friends and friends of friends, and there's one thing in common with most of these guys, and they're all rich. Okay? Some of them are MPs, some of them are bankers, some of them are shipbuilders, okay? And they start trying to get this idea of having a South Australian colony built by free settlers and through Parliament, basically. Okay, and this is going to be a utopia where everyone can practice their own religions, do whatever they want, etc. Getting the idea through to create South Australia. This is back in about 1827, 1828, 1829, okay? I'm going to park this here for a second, because I want to tell you a bit here before I...
And we're at the coast.
Okay.
Have a beach.
So shall we get out of the car for... What do you see out there, Chris? What do you see out there?
Let's see.
What do you see out there?
I just see the seaside, the ocean.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. But we are here in Adelaide
Okay.
on Ghana land.
Ghana land.
And we are here in West Beach. Okay?
right.
And Ghana land is the Aboriginal tribe.
Typical winter's day, and you're looking south now, and that down there would be Cape Jarvis,
Yes.
right?
And further down would be Kangaroo Island.
Kangaroo Island, yes.
Yes. Okay, so here we are at the old gum tree in Glenelg, and as I said, back in 1836, December 28, about 500 people, King William died, and the next in line to the throne was not his brother, because he's dead if you look at the map, but his brother's daughter, Princess Alexandrina Victoria, and she did not like the name Princess Alexandrina, so she when she became queen at the age of 19, she was named Queen Victoria. Okay. Now the Prime Minister at that time in England was a guy called William Lamb. We are going along Anzac Highway. Anzac.
What does it stand for?
Australian New Zealand Army
Army
Corps.
That's correct. And so just a couple of stories basically about the Anzacs. Firstly, the Australians during the First World War were fighting at Gallipoli, and they had
Yes.
and another story is that I think it was during the First World War, the Australians were heading to Baktisha, and they're all on a horseback
Where's Baktisha?
in Turkey. Hopefully I've got that right. And they were all on a horseback, and the horses were thirsty, and the Turks were between the Australians and the water, and the horses began to gallop towards the Turks. Normally, under normal circumstances, the Australians would get off their horses, set themselves up properly, and then fight the Turks, if you understand. Take the horses to safety, and then go on air raid shelter in Glenelg, and there is a air raid shelter in Prospect.
Right.
Okay, which you can go into if you contact me. That can all be arranged. Okay.
Okay. Sounds like another video.
Do you want to add anything else about this road, Michael?
Well, this road commemorates the legacy of the Anzacs, and it's just the main highway thoroughfare from Glenelg, which was the erstwhile initial port to the city of Adelaide once it was established.
Hi everyone. I'm Neil, and I run Adelaide Walks, Talks and Drives. We also have Peter here.
I'm Peter, and I'm a ring-in.
And we have Kate.
Hey.
We have Elise.
Hello.
Thank you, Elise. And what we're going to do today is basically show you a bit of, if a local had visitors to Adelaide, where they would take you. Okay? Now, we are currently in Lights View, and we're going to head to Morialta for a bit of, to give you an idea of bushwalking. So I will start moving and I'll talk as we go, okay?
Okay.
So now we're in Lights View, which is named after Colonel Light in some ways. So it's the second suburb in Adelaide which is named after Colonel Light. We've got Colonel Light Gardens and we've got Lights View. And Colonel Light is the guy who actually created and designed Adelaide. Now, we're heading to sort of Morialta, okay? Now, I suppose you and Kate have done a lot of bushwalking.
Yes. we have.
Kate, would you just like to focus on Elise? And just, Elise, can you just give us some ideas of some good places for bushwalking?
If you want to hike at night, Morialta is a good place to go.
What do you mean at night, Elise?
When the sun is down.
Okay.
No, like it's good. Adelaide has a lot of walking trails. We have the coast and also the mountains. Well, not really mountains, the hills. And they're very close to each other. I think it takes like half an hour, 40-minute drive to get from the beach to the hills.
What about your thoughts on bushwalking at night, Kate?
Yeah, I would say Morialta. I tend to not go out at night unless I'm with a group of people, just because it can get quite dark and I'm scared of the dark.
Yes.
But the only thing with down onto the beach, but now they've got a new path and it's really nice.
Okay, but it's all the way to
Brighton.
Aldinga.
Oh,
No, it's further.
yeah.
Yeah, no. From maybe, I'm not sure where the break is, but from somewhere.
You can also hire,
yeah.
You can also, I think there's some places where you can get free bikes in Adelaide.
Yes.
And you can ride from one place to another and leave the bike at the other place, if you understand what I mean.
That's right.
Okay.
And there's also linear.
Okay, if you are in Adelaide for 4 hours, let's say you have 4 hours spare, you've come on a work trip and you've got 4 hours spare, I'll just go to each of you and ask you, what would you do? This is in Norwood and in Port Adelaide. Okay, beer tasting places. And we also
Pirate Life.
Pirate
Adelaide.
Life, yeah. And we also have the Adelaide Clipper Ship.
So if people wanted to look that up,
Okay, those are all relatively close places. Now, let me just start with the York Peninsula. What have any of you all been to the York Peninsula?
I lived there for 6 months.
Oh, okay.
There are 3 main towns on the York Peninsula. There's Kadina.
Can you tell me a couple of places where you have great sunsets and sunrises?
Well, Petrel Cove is definitely one. That's out near Victor Harbour, and you've just got such amazing views. You can actually watch the sunset and the sunrise from that beach, because it has like a mountain that faces towards the east, that if you climb up to the top you can watch the sunrise from there. Otherwise you can watch the sunset nearly anywhere along there, and it's a really amazing place with lots of different walks and everything. It's beautiful. So that's a really good spot, and that's maybe like just over an hour's drive from Adelaide, so that's a great one for sunrises and sunsets. And then yeah, mostly the beaches are where I would go. Sunrises are a little tricky to get in Adelaide, especially the closer you get to the city, but you can also go to the lookouts, like
You can take your pram there. If for anyone who's got a kid in a stroller or something, it's pathed. Like
Same place as the night track that you were talking about before.
Yes. What was when we did the night hike? I've done it in. That was the Yarra Trail that we did the night hike, which goes through Morialta. It's very beautiful. It is so beautiful.
I would have seriously thought going on these night hikes would be significantly dangerous.
Well, they've been going for 50 years, at least.
Okay.
Yes.
They were well established in my youth.
Okay.
In fact, Morialto is known for the night hikes. Like, it is the night. Where to find night hikes in Adelaide and Morialto.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, I learned something. So we'll just stop here for 5 minutes, okay?
That's not a koala, yeah.
Do you see any koalas?
I want to see a koala. Oh, I see a koala! There he is!
Where?
Right there.
Where?
Right there. Right there, right there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Right
Really
there.
high in that gum tree.
Yeah, I don't know how to...
You can go closer.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get that one on video. It's really high up.
Hi, I'm Neil from Adelaide Walks, Talks and Drives. I'm with Peter, Elise and Kate, and we are at Morialto. Okay, and we're just going to give you a few images of what we see at Morialto. One of them is this guy here. And he looks after this food van here. Okay? And what's your name?
Daniel.
Daniel. Thank you, Daniel. Okay.
Oh, is he maybe having a sleep? Oh, I see him now.
What's great about the Adelaide Hills? Peter, anything?
Harndorf.
Yes.
Harndorf was founded as a German settlement in 1839. There's a museum up there that tells you all about it. It's the original Harndorf Primary School, and it's a fascinating.
And yeah, it's very popular.
And the other thing about the Adelaide Hills is there's lots of wineries in the Adelaide Hills which you might want to go to. And it's beautiful driving in the Adelaide Hills, but you've got to drive carefully because they've got lots of windy roads and everything. But now what we're doing is just going to providing you a bit of an example of the Adelaide Hills by going to Norton Summit. And what's great about the Fleurieu Peninsula?
Is Onkaparinga part of the Fleurieu Peninsula? Yes.
I think so.
Onkaparinga is, I really like it. It's got its river going into the beach. There's like a lot of lookout points, and because of like all the hills and the uplift of the ground.
And this here is a fire engine, a country fire engine.
Anstey Hill. Anstey Hill is also a really good place to hike because you follow the edge of the hill as you go round, and your view's always.
You said you've never been here, Kate.
Yeah, no, never been here.
Neither have I.
This is beautiful. This is up there in a few of my favorite places. Also, at the very end, about maybe 3 kilometers in, there's a waterfall, and it's cool to climb up it. You can climb up the waterfall.
Wow.
Yeah.
The fact that we're the only people parked here says something.
Wow, look at all the blossoms. No, about that window. Yeah, you've got like maps of the park, information, the heritage, and some like nature stuff, and the family that lived here, families that lived here.
Oh, okay.
And then there's lots of blossoms. So pretty. So yeah, this is springtime in Adelaide. Oh, so there's a shoe cleaning station because there's the risk that you could bring in bacteria from somewhere else. So you just clean your shoes in this, like so.
And sometimes, well, I have been here and I've gone in about 100 meters, and I've seen in that 100 meters I've seen about 6 or 7 koalas. And I think I just heard a koala.
Yeah, same. I hear it too. Shall we go and explore further? It is actually
The objective of this video is just to show you where everything is, so that you can come and investigate further later. Okay? So basically you can take this path up there for about 150 meters, cross over the stream, and then walk back down that way.
There is a waterfall. There is a waterfall at the end.
And I always tend to walk to a tree where I'll put a photograph of that tree now.
Or the one that is like...
So we're going to a place which is Norton Summit, which is probably about 20 to 25 minutes from the city. But you wouldn't believe that we're so close to the city when you go to this when you go to Norton Summit. People travel from all over the world to cycle down Norton Summit Road.
Just imagine walking around planting trees on those steep hills.
And this Norton Summit Hotel is quite a nice place to go to.
Yeah. Legendary.
Why do you call it legendary?
The scenic hotel.
Yeah.
Well, I was in the paper just the other day for having great scenes, a great view over the
That's
city.
right. So I can come up to here, and I see quite a few kangaroos just here in this area. If you come in the evening sort of thing, in this area here, I've seen quite a few kangaroos. But as I said, if you go along that road to the end, footy and
Okay, so there's Australian football, which is or Australian rules football, is a national competition. It started in Australia in about the 1870s, and South Australian League is called the SANFL, the South Australian National Football League.
beside the Adelaide Oval we have Memorial Drive. And do you know anything about Adelaide Oval, Kate?
You can do the walk along the top of it.
If you're using public transport, what should you know?
They don't do the tickets on board anymore, do they? You have to have a metro pass or something.
Yeah, they don't accept cash after COVID.
Yeah. So you should.
Right through the wine district of the Fleurieu Peninsula, and it goes through old towns like the Claren Vale and Clarendon, and there is just winery after winery after winery, all with wonderful wine tasting sessions, and there's an information centre.
I mean, the Star of Greece restaurant is really delicious.
Yep.
So I was in a tourism campaign for the Fleurieu Peninsula that got sent overseas to the international market. So I got to try just about every dish there. Would recommend. Amazing. We went to a few other places, but yeah.
What do you know about the Cube?
Darrenberg's.
Okay.
And it's very good. It cost $10. Well, when I went there, it cost about $10 to get in. That included about 3 or 4 glasses of wine tasting.
Okay.
And it is definitely a place which you should go and see.
Okay.
Okay. Lots of great views, lots of great artwork,
It's kind of quirky.
very quirky. And yeah, on the tour I'd give you more information about it, but not here.
There's a wine festival too. There's a Fleurieu Wine Festival.
Yes, you got Penfolds in McGill,
Yeah.
and I think you got Penfolds in Tanunda too.
And
Okay.
that's the Penfolds as in Grange, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And I went. You can blend your wines at Penfolds also. So I'll add some photographs of some blending of wine there. Quite an interesting experience.
Is there a relationship between Penfolds and Seppelts? Just
I don't
they're
know,
near
but
each other.
they're near.
There is a Mary MacKillop Centre in, I think, Kensington.
Very good.
So you can see some history in that. Are we the city of... We're the city of churches.
Yeah, churches.
So maybe you want to see some churches?
Yep. Although we have more pubs than churches, but yes, that's another
Oh,
issue.
that's a good fact.
Recently?
And this is the wine centre here, by the way. Okay, and you can get wine tasting there, etc. And this is all part of the Botanic Gardens here. Botanic Gardens, South Australian Museum, etc. are all free.
There's some seats at the back. So this is a 5, 6, 7-seater car.
Wow, that's so nice.
Yes.
Fabulous.
Remember to like and subscribe.
Bye. See you
Bye.
again next time.
Hi, I'm Neil, and I run Adelaide Walks, Talks and Drives.